Alright, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Give a double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. Giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. Alright, brothers and sisters, I want to go into just a little discussion talking about this individual by the name of OG Percy. And OG Percy made a statement on RealLyfe Street Stars show, which he's pretty much a regular on the show, I believe. And he talked about how his 4 sons is all serving time in prison and that he doesn't write them, he doesn't call them or anything like that, because in his perspective is that he already told them not to go to prison because he went to prison, right? And I'm going to tell you what's wrong with that. See, the reason why they're in prison is because he failed them as a parent. See, he got 4 sons, and each one of them is in prison is because he failed as a parent to be able to protect them as a parent or put them in certain type of positions where they don't have to go to prison. And see, another reason why he's failing them is that he hasn't grown up as a man. See, being a man is not just knowing how to fight or have a warrior mentality. That's not being a man. A man knows how to own up to a lot of the nonsense that he has created, and he's forever trying to elevate and make himself a productive citizen in society. And see, that's what he's not. See, he's a young kid trapped in a grown man's body. And what I mean by that, he's still running around calling himself, talking about cuz and all this type of stuff. See, he still got that crip mentality. So, no wonder why his 4 sons, is doing time in prison. It's because he didn't raise his kids properly. He made a statement and said that he don't write them, he doesn't go see them or anything like that. He knows as a person that's in prison, a lot of times when you don't get the support from your family and your loved ones. I know back in the day, they said that you would be preyed upon. See, you would be preyed upon by other inmates and other COs. And Percy always talk about rape in prison. That's one of his lines. He talks about rape in prison. Now, what if one of his sons get raped in prison? You know, and a lot of other things. You may have to turn into a savage in order to basically get certain things that you want in prison. And that's a wear and tear on a man's psyche. So why wouldn't his father come to the prison and show his son some type of moral support? Encourage his son. Go to school. Get your GED. If you got your high school diploma, take up classes so that when you get out of prison, you can better yourself. Take up a trade. See, a lot of these parents, they just tell kids to not to do certain things, and that's it. But a lot of times the parents is not doing what's necessary to take care of their kids. And a lot of times in the projects or the inner cities, if these kids don't have things to do, they're going to find things to do. And a lot of times they're going to get themselves in trouble. Put themselves in environments and situations that they don't have no business being in. It's because they don't have the proper leadership and the proper guidance, so that they won't be able to make certain decisions that's going to affect them for 20 and 30 years. But the reason why he's like that, well, I take that back. It's because he said he had both parents at home. His parents were preachers and stuff like that. But see, that's another thing. Just because you're a preacher or you're at the church, that don't mean nothing. So you have to get your kids involved in certain things, right? You have to be an example to your kids. You got to sit down and talk to them. Especially young men and young women. You have to put them in activities. And this is what a lot of us don't do, see? And then sometimes the parents do these things and the kids still turn out a disgrace to their parents. But back to Percy, the reason why his kids is in jail is because he didn't raise his kids. See? And a lot of times, too, we have kids by women that we shouldn't even have kids by. So just because the father's in jail, the mother don't know how to be a parent, right? She still want to be a young person all the time. So a lot of times the kid is set up for failure. It's because when he looks around, his role models are what? Murderers, thieves, and drug dealers, right? Pimps and things of this nature. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to, parenting don't come with a handbook. But you got to be involved in your kid's life. You got to sit down with them and do their homework. You got to get them into activities. You got to sit down and talk to your kids. And see, what I get from him is that he don't want to face the facts that because he wasn't really around taking care of his kids like he should have, this is the reason why they're in prison today. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace, shalom.